weirdness ended up on there. So yeah, this is what we're going to be playing through, and we're basically going to limit ourselves to just this. So the idea is we're going to use everything that's available in the Essentials kit to do an entire campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to play through Dragon of Icespire Peak, and then if we want to afterwards, there are 2 additional campaigns on D&D Beyond that are designed to kind of
Go
carry
with
on
it.
from that. So we've got a lot of stuff in here. So let's crack it open and have a look. So throw some stuff around. So this is all the it's like the magic items, the quests, the sidekicks. So there's a lot of information in there. So I'm going to be like passing things to you as we go on. This is where I come to the point where this setup isn't great, and it's going to be very cramped.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting figuring out how we're going to do half of this stuff. But it'll be fun. We'll figure it out.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, we're going to be moving at some point anyway, and I will consider this. If we carry on with this and it works out and we enjoy it, then I will consider our setup as part of like putting furniture in place whenever we move.
Yeah.
So there's that. We've got a DM screen, which we probably won't be using unless I put it like there. And then it's got some reference information for you as well. But it does kind of get in the way.
It is just kind of there.
Well,
isn't
we'll put it there for now. Maybe. We get a map. I'm going to make sure that this isn't full of spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this campaign. Are you gonna show off the spoilery side to the stream?
No, it's not spoiler. It's got like your basic. See Sword Coast. This is your map of the Sword Coast. So this is where the adventure takes place. So you've got Neverwinter. And I think the idea is you're from Neverwinter. Like you've started there and you ended up here in Phandalin, and this is where like all the shit takes place. And then on the reverse side, you've got the map of Phandalin. So
Yeah.
this is like the hub town. Yeah, you'll recognise this.
Yeah, I recognize this. Yeah.
The music is louder than me. I should have to knob the music off at this rate.
It's probably doing that thing again where it's like getting really loud.
So this, I've just turned it like way down. It doesn't help that this microphone is kind of rubbish. An impossibility. I'm the loudest creature on earth.
That's not true.
It is.
No, because you call me loud all the time.
You're only loud in short bursts. So that's that. So we've got a cool map. We'll probably use that at some point. This is the adventure itself. You're not allowed. This is forbidden. Forbodden. Forbodden. Not no. This is mine. This is for me. See, look, there it is. It's all the focus. There we go. All the juicy details of the adventure is in here. This is what I'll be using to throw things at you.
I just realized that guy's about to slam dunk that boulder on that prone
Yeah,
dude.
man, get wrecked. And then finally, what we're going to be referencing a lot today is the rulebook. So this is kind of like a watered down version of the main rules that's in like the player's handbook and the DM's guide and everything.
Because it's specifically designed for one-on-one play, isn't it?
Well, no, it's got the one-on-one stuff in it.
Oh, right.
This is designed for, I think, up to 5 players. But one of the things that made this interesting was that it's the first officially written campaign that has a 1-player option, which is great for us. So there's that. But this is just basically the idea is you can buy this and then immediately play D&D, similar to the starter set. So this is basically the same rule book as the starter set, but with loads of extra bits.
Yeah.
Some stuff like rewritten and it's all good. And then we have character sheets, which one of which we're going to use. Yeah. If I can get it out.
It's been ages since I've written an per character
I
sheet.
know. We're gonna start with the character sheet, and then we'll move on. We'll put everything into D&D Beyond for the first one, and then we'll probably even share it with the class. Maybe make that character publicly available so people can have a look at her. And I say her, I'm making a huge assumption there. You might not necessarily want to play a girl. Let's get rid of this. This is annoying me.
It's because it's just in the way, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I'll do, we'll start off with... I'll read you the adventure synopsis. And all of you can get to hear what this is all about as well. And yeah, my plan is to essentially just use this and all of this stuff in its entirety. We're not going to use any additional books. We're not going to use any extra stuff. Everything that you come across, well, not necessarily. There might be interesting things that I throw in on my end for the sake of like storytelling and whatnot. But at least in terms of the tools that we use and the things that you have access to, it's going to be from this.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. When we look in the rulebook, we'll see what's available in terms of subclasses and stuff. Because it might be that you're like, hey, well, I want to play a cleric, but the only one available in the rulebook is dumb, and I know that a better one exists.
I'll play a knowledge cleric, and Ebby will
just immediately trigger Ebby.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is like lots of information about the Sword Coast.
Sorry in advance if I'm yawning a lot. I just can't stop yawning ever since I got home. I'll try to not yawn directly into the mic. Or make, like, mouth noises in the mic.
Okay. I think that's...
What is this I'm hearing?
My phone, like, broke or something. I don't know. I'm going to pause that for now. There's something odd going on with the music, but never mind. Okay, so where are we? I'm just trying to skim through and work out exactly what I can tell you.
Okay.
But I think the general idea is that you're playing as an adventurer that ends up in the town of Phandalin. Okay. Yeah, so you're basically just someone looking for work. So let's have a look. First session, character creation. That's what we want. That's what's important. So I'm just gonna read it because I think that'll be interesting. Dungeons and Dragons is a game that requires several hours to play. But you can stop the game at any time and continue it later.
What a concept.
First session should focus on character creation, one of the most fun aspects of the game. I agree.
Session 0.
Session 0. No, that's yours.
Session 0.
During character creation, your role as the DM is to let your players build the characters they want. Oh my
word. God, my mom!
Why is your mom just like the queen of bad timing? I'm glad that that's kind of reminded me to put you on busy forever. Why is Skype even open on you? Oh, I assume you use it, don't you?
Yeah, I use it specifically to talk to mom.
Hey, SK.
Hello, SK. Just in time for my mom to interrupt the stream.
Wow. Well done. Well, special credit to your mom.
She has impeccable timing.
She does.
She almost
literally the worst.
She will always call when it's like right when we're about to start something.
Okay, so anyway, during character creation, my role as the DM is to let you build the character you want and help you come up with explanations for how the characters came together to form an adventuring party. Well, I suppose that works because there's a sidekick that we have to think about.
Yeah.
So if you only have one player to work with, come up with their backstory and then let them decide if they want a sidekick, which we are going to. Okay, so character options. The races that are available are dwarf, elf, halfling, and human.
Okay.
Yeah, the basic fantasy trope characters.
Oh, boring.
Classes available are bard, cleric, fighter, rogue, and wizard. So like I suspected.
Yeah.
And the backgrounds that are available are acolyte, criminal, entertainer, sage, and soldier.
Okay.
So yeah, you're quite limited in what you can pick, but maybe we can come up with some interesting things around that. Backgrounds they choose will define who their characters were before becoming adventurers, and also include role-playing hooks in the form of ideals, bonds, and flaws, things that you, as the DM, want to know. For example, if the player chooses the criminal background, one of the options for the character's bond is, I'm going to pay off an old debt I owe to a generous benefactor. If that's the character's bond, work with the player to decide who that generous benefactor is. Ooh. Okay, cool. Running for one player. If you're running this adventure for a single player, you can give that player a sidekick as a secondary character. Let that player choose from one of the pre-generated sidekicks from the selection of sidekick cards. We'll do that later. Rules and stat blocks for the sidekicks appear in this rulebook. That's fine. You might need to help the player run the sidekick. If the sidekick is lost or no longer needed, the character can return to Phandalin and acquire a new one.
No, just do like in Skyrim where you just bring them to that place and sacrifice them.
It is literally just like Skyrim, isn't it? Where you just like ditch them and be like,
I'm gonna go hire someone else.
What's the name of the first one that you always get? The Nord woman.
Oh, I can't remember.
Who just always ends up... Well, she always ended up being my first follower, because I think she's the first person you kind of come across.
Yeah, because I think she's the first person that, like, you get the option to do it, but it's been a while since I've played Skyrim.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the basics there. So, let's... I think the thing that I am confused about with this is it doesn't really say anything about like why. Like one of the important things I would want to think about is like, why is your character in Phandalin? What are they even doing there?
What are you even doing?
Yeah, why are you there? Let me just see if there is anything later on.
Because I suppose with the original starting one, at least it gave you like sort of a setup as to why you were going there, and you could come up with your own reasons as to. It
gave you the hook, and the hook was what's his name?
Yeah.
The dwarf guy, and then you basically picked, oh, how do you know him?
Yeah.
And then you could link that in with your background, and that worked quite nicely. Whereas with this one, it is just kind of like
you ended up here randomly.
Yeah, you're here, you're here, and you want to. I mean, it does just seem like you're an adventurer and you want to make some money. Okay. Blah, blah, blah.
Feels weird not having music now.
I know, but it was being odd and I can't get it to work properly.
No, I understand.
Choosing a dungeon master.
What if I don't want you to be my DM?
You're doing it to play. You'll have to play that one game that's designed for one player.
Yeah, man, I'm taking over the stream. Get out of here. It's my game now. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do that to you. Oh, Okay. I was about to meme using the camera, but then I realized because it's rotated, it wouldn't work.
Oh, because it's the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do this. I'll show off my dice tray.
Ooh.
Take my dice out of there, but
Okay, well, let's not worry
D
about
and
that.
dice.
We'll just figure that out ourselves. That'll be one of the questions that we ask when
When we
coming
start,
up with your character is like, why the heck is your character in Fandolin? What are they doing there? So
they're
let's
hanging out.
Let's turn to the rule book and let's start with chapter 1, creating a character. So we're gonna follow the steps as is in here as well,
Okay.
which I don't think is how we do it normally. So this is gonna be interesting.
Are we gonna do the rule 7, the 70 rule, or are we gonna?
We'll see.
Maybe it depends on how shit I roll.
Well, because I found out recently that the rule isn't 70.
What is it?
The rule is probably closer to 73.
Right.
Because the idea is it maps against the standard array. If you add all the numbers in the standard array together, it adds up to 73, I think.
Oh.
So you try and aim for that number. But I think there is a bit of leeway, so you're not just sitting there rolling dice constantly.
Yeah.
But it would explain why, like, characters in Critical Role, for example, are nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, where are we? Chapter 1, character creation. So, first things first. Here's your character sheet.
Can we put these over here?
Why?
Well, just I want to write on the paper. Unless I'm just writing directly in the sheet.
Yeah, you write on the sheet. That's what I've got it for.
Oh, okay.
You can
Well, then
do
I'm
that.
gonna have to adjust this.
I'm
mic.
gonna try and be cheeky, right? I'm gonna see if we can do some sort of digital zoom on the webcam.
Digital zoom. Knowledge. Yeah, because I don't want to lean too forward, because then my big head will take over the entire second camera there.
Oh my god, it actually worked.
Oh, sorry.
Oh hell yeah! You can tell that it's not an optical zoom, but never mind. Okay, so
Player name. And everyone can make fun of my handwriting.
it's better than mine, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, so you were given the options.
Yeah.
So what race would you like to choose? Would you like any more information on races?
I'm assuming there's no sub races,
I think.
or like what
No, then there are sub races.
well, what sub races are
So-
available? I guess.
So there's dwarf, which is hill dwarf and mountain dwarf.
Okay.
Elf, you can be a high elf or a wood elf. Halfling, you can be a lightfoot or a stout halfling, and then human.
See, I was actually thinking elf or dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys? What does chat think?
I'm gonna leave it to chat to decide.
Well, I wanna see what chat's opinion is because I mean I tend to lean towards lithe characters, just because of like my own style and stuff like that. But like with characters like Tezdera, and Tezdera is a minotaur for those who don't know, and then I've got Briri, who is a halfling, so I wasn't gonna go halfling because I just made Briri. But I usually like to play like I've got the half elf Favir. I've got Tosetsu, who's a tiefling.
Yeah, so out of those four, there aren't many that you haven't played before. Like dwarf and elf are the only two, aren't they?
Yep.
I mean, you haven't played human before, but you've got one in the mix. Alex says dwarf.
Dwarfu. I was thinking it would be kind of cute if like she had like long like crazy mutton chops, but like her hair was braided into it, so it's like the braids kind of almost like went to this like side of her face and then down.
Oh, okay. Dragonborn isn't available, sadly. We're literally going by just what's in the rulebook for the Essentials kit.
I do have a Dragonborn. He's the only guy character I have as well, but he is from 4th edition, and I have no idea where his character sheet is. I thought about migrating him over to 5e, just out of curiosity. But
is he the character that you voiced like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Amazing.
Because
I wish I'd been there for that.
It's because it was a game where I played 2 characters, and I was told that I have to give the other character a voice in order to distinguish between the two, and that was the only voice I could think of. And
Right.
It always killed my voice.
How? Get to the cart. Can you do it? Can you give me? I want to hear him.
No.
Come on.
Now I don't know what to say.
Say, what's his name?
His name is Norel.
And what's his favorite thing to do?
He likes to eat.
Then you say that. Hello, my name is Norel, and I like to eat. So I'm putting you on the spot. We're streaming. There's going to be a lot of this coming up with this whole campaign.
What the heck is up, gamers?
Have him say that. Have him say, my name's Trey, I've got a basketball game tomorrow.
It's been literally years. My name is Noel, and I like to eat food.
I love it.
I also like to wear hats.
Oh, what does that remind me of? That reminds me of Game Grumps. Oh my god, why is everyone getting wrecked for spamming caps? Seriously. Have I got to, like, kick this bot?
I think you just... Well, because see, like, minimum amount of caps, maximum number of caps.
Yeah, but I've said 30.
But is that, like, 30 characters? Because if people are writing...
Set the number of capitalized letters before the system starts to detect. 30.
Well, apparently people are writing too many caps.
You know what? I'm just going to be... Right.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Let's get the keyboard out. Can you get the keyboard out for me? We're going to...
You guys get the rainbow keyboard.
unmod Streamlabs.
You've removed Streamlabs.
That's the nuclear option. And we're doing it at the moment. We'll just have to ban anyone that we don't like ourselves.
I mean, we're actually looking at the chat right now.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, when we're actually playing, we won't be able to see, like, on the VOD and stuff, there's no chat. And there's a reason for that.
Am I
Like,
free to yell
when we're
now?
actually going to be playing, we won't.
You should be free to yell now.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. We just wrecked Streamlabs' face.
I'm going to practice Norel's voice because if I ever bring him into a game, you're going to insist on me voicing
I'm not
him.
going to insist on a meme voice because I, as the DM, understand how taxing meme voices are.
Yeah,
Because I have so many characters that have meme voices.
Yeah, remember when I did that one shot and I destroyed my voice because I was voicing that imp? It was a really good voice and I just destroyed it. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Okay, so I think we're decided on Got him.
I like how it warned Hood, but then it was like, oh, I can't ban them.
Oh no!
Please help.
Oh no! You know what? I'll turn it off, and then hopefully it won't even try. Like if I just turn this off, we'll see if it carries on. But yeah, get absolutely. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So, dwarf. Let me give you some information about dwarfs.
Dwarfs.
They can live to be more than 400 years old, and they're very traditional peoples. They're all about ancestry. Upholding ideals such as industry, battle, and devotion to the forge. Dwarven kingdoms stretch deep beneath the mountains, where the dwarves mine gems and precious metal to forge items of wonder. They do all that stuff. They do all that cool thing. They live in clans. They like being artisans, basically.
I like being that, I also like rocks.
Yeah, man. Dwarves who take up the adventuring life might be motivated by a desire for treasure. Other dwarves are driven by the inspiration of a deity, a direct calling, or simply a desire to bring glory to one of the dwarf gods. Clan and ancestry are also important motivators. A dwarf might seek to restore a clan's lost honour, avenge an ancient wrong the clan suffered, or earn a new place within the clan after having been exiled. Or a dwarf might search for an axe wielded by a mighty ancestor long ago.
Ooh.
So,
Do they like rocks as much as Bree likes shrooms? I don't know. She like lives and breathes shrooms. She literally becomes a mushroom, so I think she's a bit fervent.
okay. So, you have two options.
Mm-hmm.
You can be... So all dwarves get this. You get an ability score increase of 2 to your constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarves mature at the same rate of humans, but they're considered young until they reach the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
On average, they live about 350 years.
Mm-hmm.
Most dwarves are lawful, believing firmly in the benefits of a well-ordered society. They tend toward good as well, with a strong sense of fair play and a belief that everyone deserves to share in the benefits of a just order.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarves stand between 4 and 5 feet tall, and average about 150 pounds. They're medium-sized. Base walking speed of 25 feet.
Tiny.
It's not reduced by wearing heavy armor, which is cool. They have dark vision.
That's pretty good.
They have advantage on saving throws against poison, and are resistant to poison damage. They have proficiency with battle axes, hand axes, light hammers, and war hammers. They gain proficiency with an artisan's tool of your choice, be it smith's tools, brewer's supplies, or mason's tools.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you make an intelligence check, or intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you are considered proficient in the history skill, and add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency bonus. But only with rock.
I know a lot about rocks.
You can speak Common and Dwarvish, and then you have one of two sub-races. So there are hill dwarves that have keen senses, deep intuition, and a remarkable resilience. So you gain extra wisdom, and you gain dwarven toughness, which increases your hit points by 1 per level. Then there are mountain dwarves who are strong and hardy, accustomed to a difficult life in rugged terrain. You're probably on the tall side for a dwarf, and tend towards lighter coloration. For some reason, hyphenated words always mess me up. So you get more strength, and you have proficiency with light and medium armor no matter what class you are.
I could see how a mountain dwarf would be really good for a cleric.
I mean, either, because you get
Yeah.
wisdom as a hill dwarf, so you get wisdom and more HP. But then, if you're playing as a cleric, some clerics get access to heavy armor anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of thinking like mountain dwarf.
Mountain
Mountain dwarf.
So for more strength.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's make some notes then. So do you want to put in your race
Mountain dwarf.
maintain dwarf? Right, while you're doing that, I am gonna try again with the music thing.
Here, I'll put it back so you guys can read it and make fun of my handwriting. It almost my eyes like crossed for a second and I thought it said Mountain Dew.
Your class is Mountain Dew.
I am from the mountains of dew. Man, I miss Mountain Dew.
Me too.
I miss Baja Blast specifically. And Voltage.
Right, guys, let me know if that's too loud. It shouldn't be, because as far as that's concerned, it's tiny.
Yeah.
This is what confuses me about it. It's like it doesn't get picked up on the thing; it just kind of passes it through.
Whereas an actual like
Because it's not even showing up on there.
yeah.
So unless I need to do something to set it.
Well, they're saying it seems fine, so
Okay, well we'll leave it there for now. But if it gets bad,
just
please
let
tell
us
me
know.
again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Oh shit.
No.
It's happened.
There
There we go.
Um,
It's begun.
right. So.
Too bad I don't have my dispel dice for this, but
So we need to record some stuff, some additional stuff. So let's go through that thing again. So let's make a note on here that you have a Constitution modifier of +2. Or no, you have +2 to your Constitution score. That would be ridiculous. Then in your speed, you can put 25 feet.
was it,
In here.
what was my strength bonus? Or did I get it?
We'll get to that. It's okay. It's okay.
I was just because I was thinking of it. Okay.
So put dark vision in there. And put dwarven resilience in there. It must be the music. It must be just this specific track of the music has that weird like.
Yeah.
Also, so in your proficiencies over here, you can put. So you can choose. I think what we'll do, because a lot of this is going to go into D&D Beyond anyway, so we won't worry about things like Dark Vision, Dwarven Resilience, which are like set. But things that you have to choose,
Okay.
that's what we'll put on the sheet.
Okay.
So for tools, you have Smith's tools, Brewer's supplies, or Mason's tools.
Mason's is like stonework, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like working with stone specifically. Basically like Tosetsu's woodcarver's tools, only with stone.
Let's do that. Mason's tools.
Okay? So she's going to be a stone worker.
Yeah. Because I like rocks. I like shiny rocks. I like smooth rock.
She could be like a prospector or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So, languages is fine, stone cunning is fine. So, subrace, you are a mountain dwarf, so in here, put that your strength increases by 2. And in your, we don't need to worry about proficiencies because that's not a choice. So that's those. Sorted. The next step is choosing a class. Character class. Sorry, I'm just checking the wordings and stuff. Cool. So we can move on to classes. So you mentioned to me that you were thinking about cleric. Are you still thinking about cleric?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just double check the options that you get in here. Okay, so you get to choose between 2 divine domains.
Okay.
So you do get a bit of flexibility there.
I'm assuming one is life because it seems like life is pretty.
Yeah. So we'll go through both of them.
Okay.
So let's start with. I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and choose it straight away anyway, go ahead and put cleric 1 in there. So your. Why does it? Hang on. Why does it say? When do you do ability scores?
You don't. They just don't exist.
Just never. This is why I always find it really strange that you do ability scores after class, because there's a lot of things here that care about your ability scores. So we'll just do them afterwards. We'll do
Unless they expect you to do all of your rolling first, and then do all of
Maybe
that.
it is just you choose a class,
And then you do all your rolling,
yeah.
and then you.
So we'll look at the divine domain, and then we'll do your stats. So the 2 you get to choose from are life and war.
That's what Ebby is, isn't she?
Yes.
She's
So
a war
life domain, promote vitality through healing the sick and wounded, caring for those in need, and destroying the forces of undeath. So you get things like your bonus spells that you get are things like bless and cure wounds. So you always have them prepared no matter what.
Yeah.
You gain proficiency with heavy armor. Just
Yeah.
Starting at first level, your healing spells are more effective. Whenever you use a spell of first level or higher to restore hit points, that creature regains an additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So if you cast Cure Wounds, they heal an extra 3 every time. And your Channel Divinity, you can heal the badly injured. As an action, you can present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Choose any creatures within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points among them. This feature can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum, and you can't use it on undead or constructs. So that's at second level, which is pretty good. At 6th level, oh wow, at 6th level, if you cast a healing spell on someone other than you, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So you basically get the Disciple of Life bonus as well as them, which is pretty cool. And then War Domain, you pretty much know all about that in terms of, it makes it easier to hit things.
When you hit things, you can smite them.
You can do more damage, essentially, yeah. Oh no, War Priest gives you extra attacks. You get you can use extra attacks equal to your Wisdom modifier, and then you can make things easier to hit. So you can spend your Channel Divinity to give yourself bonuses to your attack rolls.
Yeah. Do I want to be a Healy, or do I want to smash things and maybe also heal?
You can still do both.
No, I know.
Either one will be able to, because both of them have access to heavy armor. And as a dwarf, you can use martial weapons anyway. You have. Did it say battle axes? I'm pretty sure it gave you battle axes.
I think it said battle axes.
So you could be a badass with a battle axe and just not die because you're just I'll pop a Cure Wounds and heal everything ever. So really, it depends on whether you want to do more damage or. Oh no, I don't think it matters because you're going to have a high AC either way.
Well, and I'm going to have a companion as well.
You are going to have a companion as well, but you've also got to think about them.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about. If I've got a lot of healing spells, and if they're a little bit tough as well, then I can we've got each other's backs basically. So I think I might go with life actually.
Cool. Okay.
It feels like it's such the generic choice.
It is very generic, but I think that's fine. We can find other ways, maybe through her as a character. Yeah. To determine what actually makes her unique, as opposed to just being a cleric what heals people.
Yeah, and this is all new. I've never played a cleric. I've never played a dwarf, so we're gonna figure it out as we go.
Yeah. You don't get to play. Leading up to playing as a wizard, this is a good stepping point. It's a good halfway point.
Oh yeah, because I've got my. Well, she's a human, so I've got my human.
That's what I meant, but you've not played her yet, though.
No, but I look forward to playing her.
Okay, so now we will determine your ability scores. So what does it say? Each ability has a score. Blah. You generate your character's ability scores randomly. Oh wait, so this book forces you to do random.
Really?
As in, if you were just based on this book, it doesn't tell you. Oh no, it does. It does. I just didn't read ahead on the dick. Would you like to roll, or would you like to use the standard array?
No. Let's roll.
Okay.
Come on, it'd be more exciting for. It
is more exciting.
It's more exciting for the viewers.
So yeah,
if I'm rolling, gonna swing out my sexy dice tray.
Yeah, man. So, the way this works is you roll 4d6, which is regular.
These are the regular square boys.
And then take away the lowest, and then that gives you a score, and you do that 6 times.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll allocate that. I know you know all this. This is
I know
for the
you're
benefit of
explaining.
the viewers.
Well, yeah, because Hood was saying learning about D&D.
So yeah, we can do that. So start with your first. What's that? 10?
It's 11. It's a 2.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a 5. 11.
This dice is not stream friendly. Neither is this one.
It's easier for me to see it on there than it is on there. That's a
Oh.
good. That's a 15. I
That's
see a
that's
15.
That's a tasty 15 right there,
Boosh.
boys. If I roll a nat 20 with 3 sixes, I'd be really impressed. 14.
Let's see. Not bad. Not bad.
That's another 14.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 more.
That's 7, 8, 9. That's 11.
11. Oh my god. Yeah, this is rip my campaign.
Watch, I'm gonna get like 4.
Good.
No, that's really good. That's a 16.
Oh my god!
She's gonna be right up there next to Yalera in terms
She's
of OP.
Nuts.
Should we even calculate if that's above?
I think that's fine. I think we're okay with this. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty good.
I mean, quick maths. What does that even total up to?
A billion.
Is it a billion?
It's a billion. Look, 11, 26, a billion.
Rigged.
Rigged. This bit. This is a recording.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. All my dice are weighted.
Absolutely rigged. So ridiculously stupid.
Why couldn't I have rolled 2 weak stats and 3 strong?
I wouldn't
ones?
even
And
say
they're
they're
not
weak.
even-
11 is average.
I mean, 11 is there's no modifier to it, but that's better than minus. What is it? Was it Tosetsu's -2, -3?
Yeah. So now we get to allocate them.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, let's.
I'll take my dice tray
Hang
out
on, let
now.
me just see what it says here. So determine ability scores. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll do that, and then we'll kind of build everything in. For your
Oh my
class.
god, yeah, because I got these +2s. As
Yeah,
well.
exactly. So stupid.
Oh.
Right. So let's begin with whatever. So I guess just put them where you want to put them. Wisdom is important.
Mm-hmm.
Dexterity is important. Strength is important. And Constitution is important.
Oh my god, all of those are important.
They are all important.
So what was?
That's the problem. So like strength is your weapon damage. So if you're going to run in and muller something with a strength-based weapon, which let's face it, as a dwarf, you probably will be.
Wait, so what were the 2 stats that you said that I don't need to worry about?
It'd be intelligence and charisma.
Maybe those should just be the 11s.
I mean, probably. In terms of like gameplay stats, but it depends on whether you want to give yourself a challenge or not, because you don't have to have a massively high dexterity,
That's true.
because you're going to be wearing heavy armor, so it doesn't affect you as much.
Well, what are the most important stats for a cleric? or is it those
Wisdom and
ones?
strength,
Wisdom and strength.
and then Constitution just for health purposes.
So then 16 should go with my wisdom, I would think. If I put my strength there, well, I suppose. If I put it there, it'd get to 17. But if I put the 16 there, it'd go up to 18, which is pretty good. But okay, so I already know I'm gonna put one of these 14s. I'm gonna put one of these 14s in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So that goes up to a 16.
yeah, so I'm gonna write 16. So that's 1 off the list. I mean, whether I put the 15 or 16th in strength, it's still gonna get high. But if I put the 16 there, it'd go up to 18, and I'm trying to decide if that's really worth it.
So high wisdom will boost your spell save DC, your spell attack rolls,
Yeah,
and your healing abilities. So like Cure Wounds, for example,
yeah.
is based on your, you do like a
Wisdom,
D8
yeah.
plus your modifier. So it really depends on what you want.
Wisdom is your god stat. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the 16 in wisdom.
I think that's a clever choice.
So put the 16 there. And then I'll put the 15 there in strength. But that will go up to 17 because of the boost. So 17.
I had to stop the music because it's being really weird. I don't know if you heard it as well. It kept like crunching.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could hear it a little bit. Did you say dexterity was really good?
Dexterity is good in so much as it affects your initiative rolls.
That's
so like
right.
your initiative
yeah.
boost is directly tied to your dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
It also it would affect your armor class, but because you're probably going to be wearing heavy armor,
It might
not so much.
matter. Yeah.
And yeah, just like general, there are some stats, like some skills that care about it.
Yeah.
It's
Like
just overall.
like Drew said, it's a naturally good
Yeah.
stat. Yeah, because you use dexterity and wisdom a lot more than you would like intelligence or strength even.
Yeah, Drew makes the thing of dexterity saving throws are the most common saving throw.
Yeah, so I might just end up being like I thought. So I just put the 14 in dexterity, and then these are just the 11s.
Okay. So then,
So the 11s are 0.
yeah, they're +0. That's a +3. These two are +3.
The 16s.
I think the 16s and the 17 are both +3 actually.
Because it's 10, 11 is 0. 12, 13 is 1. 14, 15 is 2. So this would be 2. And then 3, 3, 3. Yeah, this looks a lot like Yalera's character sheet. Except Yalera literally had pluses everywhere.
Yeah,
She was incredibly broke.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's stats sorted. So then let's go down the list here. So you have a hit dice, which is 1d8. 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
You said you're a mountain dwarf, aren't you? What did they?
Yeah.
They didn't get the bonus HP, did they? They just got the. They got the extra. That's right. They got the extra strength instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. So your hit points are going to be 11, because it's basically one maximum roll of your hit dice forms your initial hit points.
Okay.
Okay. And then you gain that amount every level. Proficiencies: light armor, medium armor, shields, simple weapons. But you're a dwarf, so you get extra stuff. Your saving throws. So your saving throw proficiencies are wisdom and charisma.
Charisma. Oh boy.
Yep. And you get to choose 2 of the following skills: history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion.
History and medicine.
Okay. And now you get to choose some equipment. You can have a mace or a warhammer if you're proficient in warhammers, which I think you might be as a dwarf. I'd be very surprised if dwarfs aren't. Yeah. You're proficient in battle axes, hand axes, light hammers, and warhammers, so you can have a mace or a warhammer.
Let's go with the warhammer.
Hell yeah. I'm glad that you said that.
I'm gonna write it here in equipment. Hammer.
It's versatile, so it's like a D8 or a D10.
Oh, sweet. Should I put it up here as well?
We don't have to do that yet.
Okay.
Then you can choose equipment: scale mail, leather armor, or chain mail if you're proficient. So I think chain mail makes the most sense, because I think it's the heavy armor option.
Chainmail is better than scale mail, isn't it?
Yes. Scale mail is like the midpoint,
Yeah.
because leather armor is light, scale mail is medium, and then chain mail is heavy.
Right. Okay.
You get a light crossbow and 20 bolts, or a simple weapon.
I'll go with the crossbow.
Makes sense. And then you can have a priest's pack or an explorer's pack. Let me see if I can find what they are.
Well, that's a good question. Who's my deity gonna be?
We can work that out later. Priest's pack is a backpack, a blanket, 10 candles, a tinder box, an arms box, 2 blocks of incense, a censer, vestments, 2 days of rations, and a water skin. The explorer's pack is a backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinder box, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin. It also has 50 feet of hempen rope strapped to the side of it.
I'm gonna go with the Explorer's Pack.
Okay, so if you just pop Explorer's Pack on there, and D&D Beyond will sort the rest
Yeah.
out for us. You get a shield and a holy symbol.
Shield. Holy symbol.
Okay. So now you get to learn some spells.
Yay!
So at first level, you know 3 cantrips of your choice
Oh dear.
from the cleric spell list. Is there not I wonder if there are spell sheets in there. Well, we'll just write them down. Let's write them down on the notepad.
We'll just write them in. Well, there's this additional. Well,
It's alright, we got...
okay.
Yeah, just write them there. So the cantrips that you've got access to are guidance, light, mending, resistance, sacred flame, and thaumaturgy.
Sacred Flame is pretty good. How many of those do I get to pick?
3.
So, Sacred Flame. I think mending. Can you go through that list again real quick?
Yeah, so the ones you've got left are guidance, light, resistance, and thaumaturgy.
What is resistance?
Resistance... Hang on, it'll be in here.
Because otherwise I'm going to go with the light spell.
The fact that I can't remember what it does tells me that it's not great. You touch one willing creature. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one saving throw of its choice.
What's the duration of that?
1 minute and its concentration.
Oh, no, I'm going to go with the light spell.
Cool.
Has a bit more utility.
This is your cantrips. We'll start with we'll give you some prepared spells as well. So you prepare a list of cleric spells that are available for you to cast. You can change these after a long rest. You choose a number of cleric spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level. So at the moment it's going to be 4.
Yay!
You automatically have, as your divine domain, you already have bless and cure wounds. So you get 4 more on top of that.
I'm just going to write those down just so I can look at them. Cure wounds. Okay.
So you've already got bless. So you can have command, detect magic, guiding bolt, healing word, inflict wounds, sanctuary, or shield of faith. So shield of faith is a concentration spell that gives you +2 to your AC. Sanctuary is the one that's like, if I cast sanctuary on you and something tries to attack you, they have to make a saving throw. If they fail the saving throw, they can't attack you. They have to choose someone else.
Right, okay.
Inflict wounds, you know very well.
Yeah.
Healing word is the ranged healing spell. So it's like a d4 plus your wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
Guiding bolt, again, you know that one. Detect
yeah.
magic, you know.
Yeah, just in case anyone can't read my handwriting, I wrote detect magic, guiding bolt, and inflict wounds already.
Okay, so you've got one more option.
What's left of the list to choose from?
Command, healing word, sanctuary, and shield of faith.
Can Shield of Faith be cast on someone else?
Yes,
Okay.
as long as you're concentrating on it, which is good that you've got a high constitution because that affects concentration as well.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because I know because Jester and Caduceus are always making saving throws when they get hit.
I need to get better at that as well. Because I keep forgetting. So yeah, I mean, you've got a pretty good...
Spell list.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
What? What?
You can change it at any time, so I was going to say something, but...
Well, you should say it anyways.
you've got a lot of like inflict wounds is great, but it's a melee spell attack.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna be focusing on like strength based weapons and fighting in close combat anyway, do you really need inflict wounds? Like guiding bolt makes sense because it's a ranged attack.
I suppose, yeah.
So if it was me, I'd replace that with healing word.
No, that makes
Because then if you're in a situation where your partner is
away
30 feet away
Yeah.
and you can't get to them in time, you can just be like, you're alive. Because one thing you don't have, which I've noticed isn't in the spell list, is spare the dying.
Yeah, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
For those, don't listen to him. Inflict wounds is OP.
Inflict wounds is OP. I just don't know if there's too much redundancy in your spells.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's completely up to you. You can always
Well,
you can even change this before we start if you want to.
Well, I'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah. Okay, so that spell's done. All this stuff you already know, like ritual casting and things like that. Domain stuff.
I was just thinking as well, if there are people in the chat who don't know what we're saying, you can ask. We'd be happy to answer.
Well, the way that I'm planning on doing this is we'll have like a half-hour pre-show, and then we'll probably play for an hour and a half. Because normal sessions of D&D I do are about 3 to 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's with a group of people.
Yeah, it's with a large group. And I think with one-on-one, you can't have it, like, it would be too exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think keeping it to like 90 minutes. And then after that 90 minutes, we'll have another 30-minute kind of wrap up.
Oh, I just meant like right now as we're doing like.
Oh, yeah. But no, what I'm saying is in the future,
Mm-hmm.
because we won't be able to see the chat when we're actually playing. I'm going to make sure of that.
Yeah.
And so if you have any questions, keep hold of them. I might see if I can figure out some way of, if you ask a question, the bot will like grab it and store it somewhere, and then we can just go through the list at the end.
Yeah.
And then we can answer any questions and kind of go through it that way. I think that would be a pretty interesting way of doing things. You also have Disciple of Life, which is great. Oh yeah, your healing word's badass as well. Because if you healing word, you do a D4 plus your wisdom modifier plus 3. Because
so my
you
healing
have the Disciple of Life thing.
Yeah, Andrew can help. So I could just be like fuck, and then they heal like 1d4 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be like you're gonna heal them for at least 7 with a healing word. That's
which is pretty good at early level.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Well, considering you have 11 hit points at first level,
That would heal me up almost completely.
So it's good. Let's go through. So now that we've done that, let's go through the rest of this and have a look at some of the things we can do immediately. So your proficiency bonus is +2. Your initiative bonus is +2.
Can we calculate AC?
We can calculate AC. Well, yeah, because I'm assuming you're going to want to equip the shield.
Yes.
Which means whatever it is, it'll be +2. Let me check the equipment section.
And it's one of those things where, because the Warhammer can be dual wielded, is it worth? Should I not calculate the shield into it in case I'm not holding it, and just be like when I am holding it?
No, I think it'd be better if you have like the full.
Okay.
If you're going to assume that you're using the shield more often than you're not using the shield.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, chainmail gives you a armor class of 16.
Okay.
It does give you disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yeah.
So your armor class will be 18, which you can buff up to 20 with Shield of Faith if you want.
Yeah, man. I wish Tosis had that much AC. I mean, she's at 17.
You're a tanky. This girl is a tanky grill.
She is.
So I think that's everything class wise. So now we can move on to describing your character.
Oh,
Oh,
it didn't feel like it was 30 minutes.
boink. We're back. And we're back.
And we're back.
We should just do an ad. Maybe that'll remind us to take an ad break or something. Ad breaks.
Ad minute every 30 minute. Ad break every 30 minutes. Blah, blah.
Okay.
This is the part I always have the most trouble with.
Describe your character. Once you know the basic game aspects of your character, it's time to flesh out a backstory and a personality. Your character also needs a name. Spend a few minutes thinking about the character's behavior and looks. You choose your character's age and the color of their hair, eyes, and skin. To add a touch of distinctiveness, you might want to give your character a memorable physical characteristic, such as a scar, a limp, or a tattoo.
Yeah, this is going to take me forever.
Put a tattoo of a rock on her face.
No. If I gave her tattoos, she would be the second character, I think, that I've played in D&D that has tattoos.
I mean, tattoos are cool.
I know. I'm sure I've had more characters with tattoos. I'm just not thinking of them off the top of my head.
But yeah, that's stuff to think. I mean, appearance and stuff you can think about over the week before we play.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, I will be sketching what this character looks like and posting it at some point.
So
over the week.
we can worry about that later on. I think
Yeah.
the main thing, as far we need to think about, is like, what is she like?
Yeah.
So let's talk about backgrounds.
Hey.
So page 24.
If anyone's got any ideas they want to throw out as well.
So this, I mean, so she's a dwarf. She's a cleric.
Yep.
So an interesting question from a background is like, it suggests the acolyte background.
Yeah.
For like a quick build cleric. Mm-hmm. That's kind of boring because acolyte is basically you were raised in a church.
Yeah.
Whereas I think it might be interesting for her to have a different background, and then you can ask the question, well, why did she go from doing that to being a cleric, and why did she go from, like, why did she become an adventurer basically? Mm-hmm. Why is it so? Like, I mean the kind of I don't want to say generic, but the atypical idea is like criminal to paladin.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's quite a common one because it's an interesting question. Like, why does a criminal become a paladin? Mm-hmm. So, the backgrounds that we have in the book are gone. I've lost them. They're gone forever. Where are we? Backgrounds. It was 24. So, acolyte. You spent your life in service to a temple, to a god or a pantheon. Criminal, you're an experienced criminal and still have contacts within the criminal underworld. Entertainer, you thrive in front of an audience. Sage, you've spent years learning the lore of the multiverse. Soldier, war has been your life. And that's it. So soldier could be an interesting one as well. Like maybe she was in war.
In the war.
In war, and then stopped being in war and started doing holy things in that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like, do any of those kind of stand out to you as ones that you would like to explore further?
Not really, but I mean, soldier is pretty interesting.
Well, what do you have in mind, like in terms of this?
I don't know. This is why character creator is always the hardest part for me, because you get all the stats and stuff like that, but then you gotta think of your character's motivations and stuff.
I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? Like sometimes when you go into character creation, like us, for example, we will generally have a preset idea of what we want to do before we go in.
Yeah.
But in a situation like this, where you've just been sat down, you've not really thought about it.
I literally spent all day trying to think of what kind of character I want to play, and nothing.
Yeah.
I guess soldier's quite interesting, but I think I almost feel like she wouldn't have become a cleric after after being a soldier. I almost feel like they were the same. Like they were the one and the same.
So
Like-
she was
like
like
she was
a
like a sto-
field medic sort of thing.
Yeah. Like maybe she used to be just like a stone worker, and then there was a call to arms, and I don't know, maybe she wasn't gonna go, and then a deity reached out and was like, "Oh, basically she got bestowed, holy power," and she was like, "Right, I'm gonna go do this, I guess."
Okay, we could go with soldier then.
Mm-hmm.
So, war has been your life. You might have been part of a national army or mercenary company, or perhaps a member of a local militia. When you choose this background, work with me to determine which military organisation you were a part of and how far through its ranks you progressed and what kind of experiences you had during your military career. And I assume, like, the question then would become, like, why did you leave? And why are you now an adventurer? Like, what transitioned you into that point? We don't have to think about that right now. But
Yeah.
that's something we're thinking about. So we'll select that. So your skill proficiencies that you get
I'm gonna put soldier here.
are, put soldier there. And then you gain athletics and intimidation.
Okay.
And you gain one type of gaming set as one of your tool proficiencies.
Oh
So you're
shit.
proficient in a gaming set of your choice. Let me just find them. Gaming sets. So dice, dragon chess, playing cards, or 3 dragon ante.
What's 3 dragon ante?
It's like a made-up Dungeons and Dragons game. I tried to learn the rules once. It's not worth it. It's basically like made-up fantasy game.
Okay, I'll just go with cards.
Okay.
I like playing solitaire.
See, why isn't there a Minesweeper set? I'd be like champion.
How would that even work?
I don't know. There should be like a series of slabs, and
Yeah.
underneath the slab is a glyph of warding, so when you turn it over, it explodes.
It's like a
I need to make that a puzzle in a
No.
fucking D&D game. Oh my
no.
god.
That's what's gonna happen to. That's how you're gonna kill one of us on the Saturday group.
I'm gonna create the Minesweeper puzzle.
Oh my god, and we're all gonna die because
That's so good!
Tosetsu has -2 or 3 intelligence, so she's not gonna be able to do it.
Doing it.
Because I'm not even good at Minesweeper, but apparently.
Neither am I. I just play it a lot. Anyway. So it's up to you. We can either oh no, you got other equipment, sorry. You have an insignia of rank. A trophy taken from a fallen enemy. I mean, you'll get a deck of cards, because I'm assuming because you're proficient in cards, you will want
Yeah.
the cards.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and put cards in there. Everything else is defaults, that's
Did
fine.
you say trophy?
Yeah, you'll need to decide what that is.
Okay.
During your time as a soldier, you had a specific role to play in your unit or army. Roll a d8 or choose from the options in the table below to determine your role. I mean, there are a few of these, so do you want to roll randomly or do you want to choose one?
No, I'd rather choose one.
Okay, so the options are officer, scout, infantry, cavalry, healer, quartermaster, standard bearer, or support staff, as in like a cook or a blacksmith.
What would a field medic be?
Oh my god, it's Kari! Well,
Hi,
healer,
Kari.
I guess.
Oh, is it
Just say
did you
healer?
Yeah. Okay.
So you could just say, like, maybe in here, like, backstory, just put, like,
Soldier, healer.
and then the feature that you gain is military rank. So you don't have to write this down, but you have a military rank from your career as a soldier. Soldiers loyal to your former military organization still recognize your authority and influence and will defer to you if they're of a lower rank. You can invoke your rank to exert influence over other soldiers and requisition simple equipment or horses for temporary use. You can also usually gain access to friendly military encampments and fortresses where your rank is recognized. So you just basically get, oh, you're a soldier.
Come
Cool.
on in.
Come and have some soup.
Yeah, man. I am a cleric. Kari. Here, I'll turn my. I don't know. Can you see that? There's my handwriting.
Kari can't read.
That can't stop me. I don't know how to read.
This sign can't stop me.
I'm a life domain cleric.
See? Got it.
I mean, yeah, my handwriting's pretty shitty as well.
Shall we go through the suggested characteristics? That might help you get an idea of
Yeah.
what kind of character you want to play as. So, the game suggests 2 personality traits. Don't be distracted by the chat. I know it's very exciting that Kari's here. Okay, so the personality traits suggested here are I'm always polite and respectful. I'm haunted by memories of war and can't get images of violence out of my mind. I've lost too many friends and I'm slow to make new ones. I'm full of inspiring and cautionary tales from my military experience relevant to almost every combat situation. I can stare down a hellhound without flinching. I enjoy being strong and like breaking things. I have a crude sense of humour. And I face problems head on. A simple, direct solution is the best path to success.
I like the Hellhound one.
So she's very
Yeah.
very stone-faced and
Like, right, time to get
you
going.
will not flinch me, kind of.
Yeah.
I am fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Because she has to be.
So it does suggest to pick 2.
Okay.
So I mean you can always change them up as well. So I'd maybe
Yeah.
put them on your
So
scratch pad.
so what should I? So just like
I can stare down a hellhound without flinching.
stare down doggo.
And then you can pick another one as well. Says polite and respectful.
Yeah.
Haunted by memories of war. I've lost too many friends and I'm slow to make new ones. So you're lonely.
No.
Inspiring and cautionary tales. You enjoy breaking things. You have a crude sense of humor, and you face problems head on.
I'm torn either between polite and respectful or having a story for every occasion.
So I can imagine polite and respectful being she's very intense,
Yeah.
but she's very she is very nice in the sense
Intense
that,
mom energy.
Yeah, exactly. She's polite, but she will stare down and be like, "Hello, thank you very much."
I need your the kind of person who can stare you directly in the eyes for more than 10 seconds and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so
polite and respectful.
polite. Okay.
Can I get an insight on the planning of this game for an example, since I'm not in it? Yeah? I mean, it'll be a bit different to what I... Well, actually, this will probably fit you better because I'm going from a book. So, yeah, we can talk about that during the week.
Hey.
Okay, so ideal. So, there are 6 ideals. One of them is greater good. Our lot is to lay down our lives in defense of others. So that's the good ideal. I do what I must and obey just authority. That's the lawful ideal. While people follow orders blindly, they embrace a kind of tyranny. That's the chaotic energy. As in life, as in war, the stronger force wins. That's an evil one. Ideals aren't worth killing over or going to war for. That's neutral. And then my city, nation, or people are all that matter to me.
I actually kind of like the chaotic one.
Yeah? She
Yeah.
doesn't like following orders.
Well, I get this. I guess I get this idea that maybe the reason why she isn't a soldier anymore is because maybe it was some of those other ones she was fighting for things that maybe she. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. Maybe the authority that she thought she was following that was righteous was actually fucked up, but she was like.
Maybe, what are you thinking? Maybe she uncovered some kind of conspiracy.
She found she was just like, fuck this, I'm out. Maybe she got exiled for it, or.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
so
is, I mean, that's. This is good because
it gives her a reason why she's out.
Well, if she was in a military unit that was made up of dwarves, they are very much about kind of respecting authority and traditionalism. And if somebody at the top of that order or whatever was using that to maybe mislead people and basically weaponize these troops, knowing that they won't question it
Yeah.
because they're loyal and lawful.
Yeah.
So maybe she discovered that and was like, oh shit, these guys are actually assholes
Yeah.
and are using good people to do horrible things. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was it? Blind orders or tyranny.
When people follow orders blindly, they embrace a kind of tyranny.
Orders equal tyranny. That's it. I'm gonna rewrite that word.
Okay, so next up is bonds.
Okay.
So
Goat mom.
So the first one is, I would still lay down my life for the people that I served with. Someone saved my life on the battlefield, and to this day I will never leave a friend behind. My honor is my life. I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered, or the enemies who dealt with it, or the enemies who dealt it. Sorry. Those who fight beside me are worth dying for. I fight for those who can't fight for themselves.
A lot of those are super good.
They are good, aren't they?
Yeah. What was the first one again?
I would lay down my life for the people that I served with.
What about
Her bond? So that bond
would be to her troop.
her like old.
Yeah. What was the third one?
My honor is my life.
Right. Okay. I mean, those are kind of similar in a way. But I guess the thing is if she was loyal to her troop, why isn't she with her troop anymore?
Yeah, but it could be that it's not her fellow soldiers that she doesn't like. It could be someone in a position of authority that she didn't agree with, and that's why she left. And maybe she knew that it wouldn't work. Like if she tried to convince them,
it wouldn't work.
I don't know. Like, or maybe something happened as a result of her actions that broke up the unit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird one. Like the bond is basically, hey, it's Katie.
Katie.
Her bond is going to be like a connection to another person or thing that basically drives her to action, or maybe creates interesting situations.
Where are they at?
So there they are.
I guess the first one.
Okay.
Is it?
So she still, I suppose that's the way of, it's another way of saying she still cares very deeply for the people that she served with.
Yeah.
Katie's listening to us over her car.
Amazing.
Beep beep. Oh yeah, you have proficiency in land vehicles. That reminds me. She can drive a car.
Could I drive a war machine?
Maybe.
Oh my god. Are we going to Avernus? I'm gonna drive a war machine.
God, I can't imagine. Single player Avernus would be brutal.
Single player life domain cleric goes into literal hell.
Okay, so flaws. Final one. The monstrous enemy we faced in battle still leaves me quivering with fear. I have little respect for anyone who isn't a proven warrior. I made a terrible mistake in battle that cost many lives, and I would do anything to keep that mistake a secret. My hatred of my enemies is blind and unreasoning. I obey the law even if the law causes misery. I'd rather eat my armor than admit that I'm wrong.
Oh, those are funny. Where's it at? It's flaws.
Like, I don't think that one... No, sorry, I don't think the fifth one, the one about obeying the law,
No.
it fits because that's how she ended up in this mess in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's in saying that, like, one of these flaws could be something that drove her to the position that she's in now. So maybe, for example, the monstrous enemy. you could be very much like. I'm getting very Vinland Saga vibes from this character because the idea that I had is you could be like monstrous enemy we faced in battle still leaves me quivering with fear, and the situation was that her and her friends were sent to fight something intentionally, knowing that they were going to lose to try and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe.
or like, but that's just one example. There.
Well, you could use that as well because maybe she lost a number of companions and they had to flee that fight, and then when they got back they regrouped and they reported that was when she started noticing that something was wrong.
Like, possibly, but there are others as well. Like, there's not just that one. It's
yeah.
Because the other thing you could say is like, I'd rather eat my armor than admit when I'm wrong. Maybe that's one of those things where she got an inkling that something was wrong and wouldn't let it go. And because she wouldn't let it go is how she discovered that there was crazy, like, actual conspiracy.
There was actually something going on. Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Okay, so I mean we've already got a decent idea of who this person is.
And now we're just gonna play the Vinland Saga soundtrack every time we play.
Yeah, and then get copyright stricken into oblivion.
Yeah. So
here's an interesting question then, based on everything that we've said. What is her alignment? Because
she's definitely good.
Yeah, she's definitely good. She values independence because she doesn't like people following orders blindly.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call her chaotic because she's
somewhere between neutral and lawful, I think.
Yeah, I would say neutral.
Yeah.
I think because she values being part of a system, and she believes that the law is there for the good of people, but she also believes that it can be abused. That
if you can be blinded by it, it can be abused. You know, people manipulate it.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where she's lawful as long as everyone is fair.
Yeah.
But she's also woke enough to know that not everyone plays fair.
#woke.
Yeah. She's woke dwarf. So yeah, I think neutral good makes the most sense. So neutral good do the best they can to help others according to their needs.
Yeah.
Whereas chaotic good act as their conscience direct with little regard for what others expect. But I don't think that's...
No.
I suppose the only thing you could argue is, while she was uncovering this, whatever was going on within her original unit, she would probably have to face adversity from her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And she would have to ignore that in order to...
But she's not wrong.
But she's not wrong. She's very stubborn.
But she's not wrong, yeah.
Listen, I'll turn this car around that I have proficiency in driving.
It's funny because I'm incredibly stubborn as well.
Whee! Do you want to randomly decide how tall she is?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I usually have an idea of how tall they are, but let's randomize it this time.
So mountain dwarves have a base height of 4 feet.
Okay.
And then what you need to do is roll 2d4.
Okay. So I need some triangle boys. I'm just trying to decide which triangle boys I want. Let's grab that one. Oh, that's my Testera dice. Let's grab that one. And where's my green one? Oh, there it is. No, let's do these two. Shut up.
Oh my god.
This is only going to get worse. IRL, D&D, or both? Both. They always say the best characters have a little bit of their creators in them. So I've got to roll both of these.
Yeah, and then that's the amount of inches that get added. So she's not going to be... She could be tall for a dwarf, but she's not going to get over 5 feet.
4'3".
Whee!
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Yeah, so she's 4'3".
Where's the... Oh. 4'3".
Base weight is 130 pounds. Roll 2d6 for me.
Oh God, so many
Stop,
dice.
just pick 2.
I'm legitimately just like my eyes are getting lost trying to find them.
Get it in camera shot. I don't know. So what's that?
So a 4 and a 3. So 7. So what's
Hang on. That same number multiplied by the dice roll. Oh right, okay. So did you say you rolled 3 for the height modifier?
I got 3 total for the height modifier.
Okay. So and then what did you get with those? 7.
7.
So 3 times 7.
21.
21. So she weighs 151 pounds.
151. She's not that much heavier than me, actually.
So she's pretty skinny for a dwarf then.
Yeah.
Tall and skinny.
Well,
for a dwarf.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also, if you shave off like a foot and a half of my height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I suppose it's more like redistribution, isn't it?
Yeah.
But still, for a dwarf.
Yeah. She's pretty scrawny for a dwarf, but she's doing it more.
Nah, man, it's all muscle.
It is.
It's all muscle.
No, she's like Asta in Black Clover. Like she looks tiny, and then she gets in the battle, and then she just flexes, and it's like, and it's just like.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Okay, well, I think in terms of like the character, we're pretty much done. Like that's all the kind of main things you have to choose from. So now
We've got to
the
go
fun
with a
part-
name.
well, we don't have to do name yet.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say now you get to pick a sidekick.
Hey, I get a sidekick.
So I'm gonna lay them out, and then we can kind of go through them. I already have one in mind that I hope you pick because
Okay.
it's a character that I really want to play.
Okay.
And you'll know who it is straight away.
Will I?
I think you'll like
sometimes
them as well.
sometimes you say that, and then I pick really random things.
You'll know. Okay, so you've got in Verna Nightbreeze.
She a half orc.
Let's turn it around. She's a moon elf.
Oh.
Ooh. We've got Galandro Luna. Donabella Fiasco.
Oh man, she's got a
unicorn.
She's got a
horn.
unicorn
If I
hat?
remember rightly, that's just made out of papier-mâché.
yeah, man.
These sidekicks are amazing.
So she'd be the one many would think is weak, and when it's time to actually fight, they'll regret their life choices. Hell yeah.
We've got Quinn Hightopple. Pickled Pete.
Is it Pickled Pete?
Pickled Pete, no, it's not. Well, he's one potential. Nib Addlespur. He's
Nib.
got a burb. We've got...
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to move these up a little bit.
Talon Thornwind.
Mm-hmm.
Shanjan Kwan. And Ruby Hammerwhacker.
Those are some fantastic names.
There are some good characters here. So if you kind of pick one out, and then I'll tell you what they're like. So I'll explain a little bit about sidekicks as well.
Okay.
They don't have classes like a traditional D&D character does. They fall into 3 archetypes.
Yeah.
So you have a caster, you have a warrior, and you have an expert.
And the expert is like a thief, isn't it?
Expert is like thief.
Bard.
They're more like they have a lot of skills.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a character that maybe doesn't have an awful lot, so maybe you're like a caster class or something, and your stuff is focused elsewhere, or you need someone that can like pick locks or whatever, or maybe someone who's more of a more agile, or maybe has knowledge, who can do more things, then you might want to pick an expert. The warrior is more about like dealing damage or protecting people, because they have subtypes as well. I think expert is the only one that doesn't. But you get kind of more choice in the skills that they have.
Yeah.
And then warriors can either be like offensive, so they just like run in and do shitloads of damage, or they can be defensive, so they can like impose disadvantage on attacks and kind of have a high AC and are basically tanky.
Yeah.
And then casters can either be offensive casters or healing casters.
Okay.
So they're kind of they're much more simplified archetypes. and they have a more linear progression than players. Oh, can you do the thing?
If I had to guess, based on what you were saying, I would for some reason assume that you would lean maybe towards this kid.
You know me far too well. And when I read this guy out, you'll understand what I mean. I
Okay.
mean, he's not a kid, he's a halfling.
Oh, my mistake.
He's a halfling warrior. Mm-hmm. Quinn Hightopple, he's a Lightfoot halfling. Okay, I'm going to read this out in like... Hang on, let me...
Are you gonna do a character voice?
I'm not going to do a character voice, but I'm going to be like... serious about it. Quinn is a happy little scrapper who likes to punch people in the groin.
Yeah, I can see why you like him.
He's a warrior, so you can either be like fighty or protecty. His personality is nice set of teeth you got there. Be a shame if something bad happened to them. His ideal is there's no challenge too big to overcome. As Papa Bartho always says, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. His bond is nothing is more important than friendship. That's why I'll never leave a friend behind. Mm-hmm. And his flaw is I can't resist punching tall folk in the groin. I call it the halfling hello. He's just this kid well, he's not a kid, but you know what I mean? He's just this guy who loves his friends and punching people in the dick.
Yeah, I can see why you would want to play him.
I want to play as him, and I want to punch a dragon in the dick. He's so good.
Do you think a dragon's dick has low AC because it's so big?
It's on the underside, the soft underbelly. Just punch him in the dick.
It's just little Cammy.
That's why I love him. So that's one.
I guess what a fantastic flaw. I guess with the way that she is, I imagine companions that I guess can also fight would be more of what she would go
She'd probably
for.
respect a character. And I think with that, like, with the way that she is, they would have a good dynamic because he's very much like, he clearly doesn't have a lot of respect.
Yeah.
So I can imagine her just like always trying to rein him in.
Well, I imagine she'd probably always smack him upside the head.
Yeah. But the cool thing is because you're playing a cleric and it being very kind of defensive and protecty while also being in the midst of battle, having a character that can dish out a lot of damage.
Well, that was my thought, was like if I can have a companion that can do a lot of damage but maybe has as much defense as I potentially have.
Honestly, you picked a good kind of class in the sense that you've got a high AC, you can be in the thick of battle, and you can heal. Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much free to pick any of these. Like, any of the archetypes are going to help you. Yeah. Because like you could have a caster and just have them stand at the back and deal a shitload of damage.
No, I want someone up in the fray with me.
You want someone up in... Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what she's going for. Or potentially someone that can like a roguish kind of character. And maybe somebody who's got maybe more... what's the word that I'm looking for? Obscure morals. Mm-hmm. That you could... There's potentially some good roleplay potential in there as well.
Yeah, it's true.
So, like, pick a couple more and then we'll kind of... Because I think what we'll do is maybe pick 3 that you like the look of, and then we'll narrow that down.
Well, what about Galandro here?
Galandro is a human expert. Galandro's most treasured... I think he's a bard, actually. Galandro's most treasured possession is a fiddle that he tunes and plucks constantly. Personality is, I love a good insult, even if it's directed at me.
Who's the small kid on the left? This one.
Well, we can talk about... I'm assuming they're talking about Nip.
This is dick punching guy.
His ideal is... I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. That plus their adoration is all that matters. The bond is, my fiddle was gifted to me by a good friend. I cherish it above all other things. And the flaw is, I will do anything to win fame and renown.
Okay.
So a bit self-centered, possibly.
Yeah. What about Ruby Hammerwhacker? Because she's got a fantastic name.
So she's a shield dwarf warrior She lacks the customary dwarven stoicism and greets every day with a warm smile and a renewed sense of optimism. Her personality is that nothing can shake her optimistic attitude. Her ideal is we should always seek the betterment of ourselves. There's always room for improvement. She fights for those who cannot fight for themselves. And her flaw is, if you tell me I can't do something, I must prove you wrong. So there's like a kindred spirit in there somewhere.
It seems like they would be friends, but also they would butt heads a lot.
If they disagreed on something, the world would end. It'd be like unstoppable force meets immovable object.
Yeah, it'd be so good. Yeah, because you'd be like, yeah, you can't do that, and then she'd be like, fuck you, I can, and then she tries, and then maybe she does, and it's like, nah, you still can't do it, you cheated.
Are there any others that you want to look at?
Well, if I had to guess based on what they look like, I would say that she seems like she would also be an expertise. These two seem like they would be casters.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a warrior or he could be an expert. He looks like he could be a caster as well. And Pickled Pete, he's a wild card.
You don't know what Pickled Pete is?
Yeah, Pickled Pete's a wild card.
What do you think? Place bets. Shall we pick up Pickled Pete next?
Yeah.
What do you think he is? Guess one.
I think Pickled Pete is... Nah, man, he's gonna be like a veteran or something ridiculous. He's gonna be like a warrior or something.
Boop, 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 boop. He's an expert.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's unassuming. Oh.
He likes ale and tends to function better while tipsy.
Dear.
At his best, he's quite the handyman and comes up with all sorts of crazy ways to get things done. His personality is, my friends know they can rely on me no matter what. His ideal is, he likes coming up with new ways to solve things. What problem can't be solved with a little ingenuity? His bond is, a full flask of wine is worth 10 full pockets of gold. And his flaw is, all this drinking is bad for my memory. Seriously, I can't even remember my last name.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, mood.
Yeah, right.
So he's a drunkard and an expert.
Yeah. Let's go with this guy. See what he's all about.
Talon.
Yeah.
Okay, so Talon is also an expert.
Oh my god, why are there so many experts? Well, no, I did think that maybe he was an expert.
Well, I mean, there's going to be three of each. I mean, there's 9, and there's 3 different types.
So expert, warrior.
Maybe that's not true though. Maybe it is different because we haven't found any of the spellcasters.
That I'm thinking one of those two is a spellcaster.
Yeah, Donabello's definitely a spellcaster. Anyway, Talon loves gold and adventure, dreams of being a famous gold prospector. Personality is, yes, I eat like a pig and have bad manners, but those are my only flaws. I swear, I'm darn near perfect otherwise. Ideal is the lower lifted up and the high and mighty are brought down, changes the nature of things. Bond is, I like gold. I like its colour, its texture, and its majestic gleam. And its flaw is, it's not stealing if I need it more than somebody else.
Sounds like Ylara. Drew was asking about this one, so I am a little bit curious about her as well.
Inverna Nightbreeze.
She's the moon elf, isn't she?
She's a moon elf. She's a moon elf warrior. She's a warrior. Inverna has a scar on her cheek where she was grazed by an orc's javelin. She's cautious by nature and suspicious of strangers. Personality is, I choose my words very carefully. Sarcasm, I'm told, is my sharpest weapon. Ideal is, all people deserve to be treated with dignity regardless of their station. Of course, orcs aren't people.
Of course.
Wow. Okay.
What a racist.
And this ties in very nicely with her bond. Orcs are a blight on the land. For the sake of natural and civilized worlds, I will kill them on sight.
It sounds like the fucking Amber Watch.
And her flaw, I can't admit when I'm wrong.
Oh dear.
I must destroy the orcs.
Yeah, so I would be curious how she would react to a half-orc.
Probably wouldn't like him. I don't like him.
Oh.
Oh.
So I've
You'll
narrowed.
get to find the spellcasters. I'm assuming these are all going to be spellcasters.
These three are gonna be spellcasters. Yeah. So let's narrow it down because I don't want to go with spellcasters just because I want
Fuck spellcasters.
no because I want someone fighting with me.
Okay, so this is like playing a game of Guess Who name.
Yeah. He likes gold a little bit too much. I mean, he might like me because I can mine rocks and shit, but I don't like that he worships gold so much. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Um,
I imagine like because he's all like changes the nature of things.
they
I
would.
imagine he's a bit too chaotic for her as well.
Yeah,
Like
and
his like philosophy
yeah,
doesn't really match up well with hers because hers is to her change isn't the nature of things. Change is only there when it's necessary.
yeah. If I was playing as Eulera, he'd be a good companion. I have to take out Pickled Pete because
But Pickle Pete.
no, I need someone of sound mind, and
Hey man, he's reliable. He can get the job done.
I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Not the Brave, but the amount of situations Not the Brave has gotten them into for being drunk.
Just needs a clear head, and ale helps with that.
Drew's saying I should go with the Dick Puncher.
Hey,
Hey, Kinross.
Kinross.
I'm gonna have to say no to Inverna
Too
because
edgy.
she's too racist.
Too racist.
She's too racist. So I've narrowed it down to these three. And I might have to take away Ruby because I think they're too similar in personality that I don't think it's like you said, if they got into an argument, nothing would get done.
Yeah.
Because they would be too
And they
busy.
would get into an argument all the time.
Yeah, they would never not argue, and it would be. They would be friends, but they'd be those friends that just So I've narrowed it down.
It's narrowed it down to the vain bard who just wants fame and everyone to adore him.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be like he's almost like hanging around her because he wants her to like acknowledge him, sort of thing. I don't know, like a weird. Maybe
he's following her to sing. Maybe he thinks that if he sings songs of her and they become famous because of like what she's doing. So just to catch Kinross up on what's going on, I have made a dwarven cleric of the life domain, and she is a soldier, and she's pretty intense, but she's a good bean.
Is she gonna be cute?
No. Of course she is. Have you ever known me to draw something not cute?
No, it's impossible.
It's because I've never shown you. I've never shown you my skill of not cute. And right now we are discussing companions, and these are my two companions. So we've got Mr. I want fame and fortune, and Mr. I'm gonna punch you in the dick. And it might actually be Dick Puncher because if he's gonna be up in the fray, I need someone who's gonna be up in the fray with me. So, as much as I love him, I'm gonna go with the Dick Puncher.
Yes.
And Dick
I
Puncher.
love this kid.
And Dick Puncher has a name. It's
Quinn
Quinn.
Hightopple.
Oh, I'm trying to. This way. There we go.
Oh, off he goes. You have to, it's because of the delay, isn't it?
Yeah, pardon me.
Dick Puncher is his name. Hell yes.
But my question is he tinier than me?
Oh yeah, he's a halfling, so he'll be teeny tiny.
He'll be half my size.
Well, let's have a look, shall we? He's a Lightfoot halfling, so
Quinn is dwarven for dick.
halfling. Halflings average about 3 feet tall and weigh about 40 pounds, so he's tiny compared to you.
So if I were so what you're saying is if I was a male dwarf, he would have potentially attempted to punch me in the dick.
Maybe.
Because I was taller than him.
I think he's.
I think he punches up.
Yeah, he like elves, especially elves, probably.
Yeah.
Humans, orcs, anyone.
Orcs. Oh, racist.
He's gonna punch an orc in the dick. It's not racism. It's racist against tall people, and it's not because he hates them. He just wants to bring them down a peg. It's like what's his name? Mike, the YouTuber. The guy who made the camera because he was fed up of everyone being taller than him.
Yeah.
So he'd made a camera that shocked everyone and had them all kneel down. Michael Reeves, there we go.
Michael Reeves, yeah.
Forgotten his name for a second.
I mean, he does look a little bit like him.
But yeah, that's all it is. It's not out of hatred or anything. It's just, he wants to bring them down a peg.
Yeah.
He's very cocksure. Like, nice set of teeth you've got there, Bish. He's just a thug. Like, he's a rough and tumble thug who likes to punch people in the dick. But he really, really likes his friends. Friendship!
Yeah, man.
So how did they meet? How did your, like, conspiracy unearthing dwarf cleric of life come to become, like, best friends with this halfling who clearly gets himself into more trouble than he should?
Well, she must have got him out of trouble. They must have met because over their shortness.
Did he punch the wrong crotch?
Maybe he punched the wrong crotch, and she just happened to be there at the time, and she got him out of it, and he was just like, "You're my best friend forever now." It's like Gordon. He's my best friend.
He's my friend. But yeah, so like, for example, here are the stat blocks for sidekicks.
So
they're like an NPC. So yeah, there's this, and basically you can choose what his martial role is. Mm-hmm. So they get all of this stuff, and then you can choose to either have them be an attacker. Mm-hmm. So an attacker will get a +2 bonus to attack rolls, and defenders will get the protection reaction. Yeah. Which is just the same as the protection fighting style. Yeah. So basically it'll be a +6 to hit on everything, or +5 there, +6 there.
See, that's hard because he seems like the kind of guy who'd be quick to fight, but if his friends are in danger, he want to defend them.
I think he and like I think there'd be better synergy. Yeah. In your group, if he's like from a metagaming point of view, it'd probably be better if he's an attacker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But there's definitely an argument for if he's a protection guy as well, then obviously like you've got a really high AC. He hasn't got quite as high an AC, but he can, if anything tries to attack you, he can impose disadvantage on it because you're very likely to be within 5 feet of each other. Mm-hmm. The warrior imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of a creature within 5 feet of him, so in front. If they try to attack you, they can be like, nah. Yeah. Nah, disadvantage. And then you could have this crazy... There's a synergy there where if you cast Sanctuary on him, then either they attack you and he imposes disadvantage on the roll,
or they don't attack.
Or they attack him and they have to make a saving throw to even be able to in the first place. If they fail, they have to attack you, and then he imposes disadvantage on the roll.
Oh, that's pretty good synergy, yeah.
It would mean you have to change your spells, though.
To be more defensive.
No, it just means you'd have to put Sanctuary on your list.
Oh, yeah.
And then as they level up, they gain... So basically, they level up in time with you. Yeah. So he, like, he'll get Second Wind, which is the standard fighter second wind. But the cool thing is they get improved critical. Oh, man. So at 3rd level, they crit on a 19.
That's pretty good.
Standard ability score improvement, they get a proficiency bonus increase at 5th level. And then they get extra attack at 6th level. So it's one of those things where it's very straightforward. Yeah. But yeah, the improved critical at 3rd level alone is ridiculous. Yeah. But it really depends on whether you want him to be able to hit more or kind of have that. The synergy thing is potentially very powerful. Yeah. With Sanctuary. But he would lose the ability to hit more consistently.
Yeah, and he just seems like the kind of guy who just wants to hit things.
It is very true.
So I think I might have to go with attacker for him, which, okay. Yeah.
And maybe we'll say, I don't know. We might be able to give you an opportunity to change that if you suddenly decide, oh no.
We could always do a round of comp. We could always do a fight, and if it doesn't work out, we just change it.
Or if his personality, maybe he will change.
Maybe. We'll leave it at that then.
Yeah. So we'll maybe have to have a bit more of a think about her backstory and how she met Quinn.
Yep.
Think a bit more about Quinn and how he plays into everything. She needs a name.
Yep.
And
she needs a very dwarven name.
And then the big question will be like, how has she gone from this background that we've got? We seem to be leaning towards this idea of she was a medic in a military unit, like a field medic, and maybe like she trained as a cleric for that specific purpose to be on the war front.
Yeah.
And then maybe through her experiences as a medic, she came to realize, oh, there's something shady going on here.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that either her direct superior or someone above the direct superior is a super dick.
Would it be something that she would just discover on her own, or because as a cleric, would it be something that potentially her deity might have not like told her, but like hinted?
Maybe her
Because
her
maybe
deity,
she was just as blind, and then like maybe her deity gave her some sort of heads up, and she was like, oh, well, if a deity is telling me this, then that must mean something's up.
I mean, maybe it could have been a combination of things. Like, it could have been a simple somebody coming up to her who's been heavily injured, who maybe in their dying moments or something, they question the authority of the people above them and like plants a seed in her head.
Yeah.
And then once the seed has been planted, then the deity kind of goes, yeah, they're right, you know, like they kind of, maybe she asks, maybe she's like, maybe that makes her feel conflicted.
Yeah.
And then she asks for a sign.
Yeah.
And then is given some sort of sign to be like, yeah,
that's what's happening.
this is,
Something's happening.
You need to look into this. And then she can either, maybe she didn't succeed. Like, maybe she tried to uncover it and they kicked her out.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why she's an adventurer now. Because she basically got screwed over.
She got screwed over, and then because she brought shame on the family, she got kicked out of her home. So it's like,
yeah. So it's kind of sucks, really.
Yeah.
And it's like she cares deeply about these people and she wants to help them, but they don't. It's not that they don't want to be helped; it's that they don't think they need help.
Yeah.
Maybe the person who's in charge of them is like a war hero.
Yeah.
Who everyone reveres. Like, they're like, this guy is the shit. Like, he saved us, or he saved like our home from destruction or something.
It's fucking Bromari.
It is. He's cray.
Yeah, I like that though, because now she's like on the road. And she's like, well, you know, I gotta figure some shit out, but I can't do anything with the way I am now. I gotta get better, and then come back and prove them right. Prove them that I'm right.
Yeah. I think that sounds good. So we just need to kind of put more detail onto that and come up with a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will do my best to interpose that into the story. And then, like I say, we need to get Quinn involved somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe Quinn helped in some way.
Maybe.
Maybe he punched that guy in the dick.
And she was just like, I know you did it as a greeting, but it made me feel...
Maybe she got him out of some shitty situation that involved them. And maybe that's part of the reason why she got kicked out.
Maybe, yeah. And then he was like, she's cool. I'm going to tag along with her.
You saved my life. You saved my life. I'm going to punch people in the dick for you.
Sweet.
And for myself. Mostly for myself, because it's fun.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
This is a lot of fun.
I think we're there. So you've got the week now.
To think up the backstory and think up a design.
I mean, you're off tomorrow, aren't you? So you
I
can
am.
kind of do some of this stuff tomorrow.